I never thought that I would say this, but I'm kind of worried about Joe Biden. And that feels weird coming out of my mouth. Maybe worried isn't the right word to use, but politics to the side, on a purely human level, I'm kind of concerned for Joe Biden. Because have any of you all seen him lately? He's been MIA since Trump took office. And Kamala Harris, she disappeared for a little while, but now she's back out doing the rounds, doing her little media tour, going to little events. I think she's gearing up for another run in 2028. But Joe Biden has been MIA since Trump took office, and now he has resurfaced. He's been spotted for the first time, and the dude's got like marks and bruises all over his face. Some of which are kind of lightened now, but you can tell like he's recovering from a black eye. And I don't know, it's just kind of concerning. It's kind of weird, man. And I guess it's because I was raised by older people. And my mother, when my mother was alive, she was a supervisor at several different old folks' homes, retirement homes, nursing homes, whatever you want to call them. So I have a soft spot in my heart for old people. And I know old people very well. And I know how they are. And seeing Joe Biden kind of stumbling around with these marks all over his face, it kind of makes me wonder what in the hell Joe Biden has been going through since he hasn't been president anymore. I want to go ahead and show you what I'm talking about, though, and then I'll be right back with more thoughts. Now I get it. Let's go, Brandon. F Joe Biden. Who really cares? Who cares if he's got bruises on his face? Think of all the bad Joe Biden has done. Would Joe Biden care if you had bruises on your face? No. I'm aware of that, but I know that I'm a better human being than Joe Biden will ever be. And I just think it's worth having a conversation. Because as I was explaining earlier, listen, I know old people. I've been around old people all my life. I know that they bruise easily and they could be fragile and they fall. But it's kind of odd to me that Joe Biden, doesn't necessarily have bruises on his arms and other places on his body, but it looks like he had the crap beat out of him. And it makes me wonder because we know for a fact that Joe Biden had handlers in the White House, right? We know that Joe Biden had handlers. We know that his condition was way worse than what we were told. So I'm wondering, is Joe Biden getting roughed up? Are they roughing up Joe Biden? And then another angle you got to take here is that, listen, a lot of stuff is getting exposed. You got Kash Patel as the new FBI director. They're going to start looking into a lot of things, and maybe they roughed Joe Biden up to keep him quiet, to send him a message. I don't know. All I'm saying is the way that he is bruised, it doesn't look like, oh, you just took a fall. Now, maybe that's possible. Maybe Joe Biden is just falling around and hurting himself. And if that's the case, then that is just further proof that he wasn't fit to be president when he was president. Just like a month or two ago. Let's not forget. It seems like it's been forever. The dude was president just a couple of months ago. We knew he wasn't fit. So since he's been out of office, he's been taking these tumbles and falls, that's just further proof of that. But I think maybe there's something more here. Did Joe Biden join the Black Eye Club? But seriously, like the dude looks like someone's been smacking him around. And I'm just wondering what's really happening here because obviously they couldn't rough Joe Biden up when he was president. But now that he no longer holds that power, who knows what they're doing to this dude? And I don't necessarily care that much. I'm not going to lose sleep over the fact that, corrupt Joe Biden is maybe not being treated well. But you have to wonder, why isn't he being treated well? Is there an effort here to silence Joe Biden? Because during the last couple of months of Joe Biden's presidency, he said and did some things that really made you question things. Like he put on the Trump hat right before the election. Things like that. Don't get me wrong. I know he was in the media giving his pre-planned speeches, mumbling a bunch of nonsense. But his actions were different than his words in many cases. So over the last couple of months of his presidency, there were times when he was obviously taking jabs at Kamala Harris, taking jabs at the Democratic Party. And I'm wondering if he's paying for that now. Are they roughing him up because of that? Or are they roughing him up because, they don't want him to speak about certain other things that are going to be getting exposed? I don't know. I'm just wondering, because the dude disappeared and then reappeared with bruises all over his face. And it's almost like they tried to hide him until the bruises would heal, but they didn't heal all the way. And this also reminds me of like what happened to Jay Leno recently, which Jay Leno claims like he fell and like rolled down a hill or something, and the whole side of his body was like completely purple. And a lot of people were questioning, hey, did Jay Leno get mixed up in the mafia or the mob? What happened to Jay Leno? I don't know. Oftentimes, randomly, these celebrities, these powerful, rich people, they reappear with these bruises and stuff, and you wonder what's really going on behind the scenes. Now, in Joe Biden's case, maybe nothing's going on. All I'm saying is I definitely notice when this dude pops back up, and mind you, this wasn't necessarily meant to be seen. He went out to the store somewhere and someone recorded him on TikTok. It's not like he's in front of the media. So obviously something's happening to the dude for him to have these bruises all over his face. I don't know what it is, but your guess is as good as mine. Let me know your theory down in the comments below. While you're down there, hit that thumbs up, hit that subscribe, ring that notification bell. And if you find yourself getting too worked up by all of this, remember, it's just political cinema.